So the results are in. I recently did a survey on if the $1 Million Roundtable, or MDRT for short, is still actually relevant at all amongst insurance agents. And the results are kind of surprising. My name is David Duford. I am the owner of davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents become top producers. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through the results of a survey that I recently did, end of June 2020, on really getting some feedback as to what the MDRT means to insurance agents out there, how relevant it is, and really what to think about its interaction with everyday life as an insurance agent. So a little bit background on the MDRT Association. It is a long-standing, multi-decade training program really designed for agents that hit certain levels of production. And it's kind of a, I guess you could say, a membership type of organization where the top producers get together, learn from each other, and in a sense kind of have bragging rights about their abilities to be productive. It was once, many years ago, kind of the gold standard for top producers everywhere to strive or to work to achieve. Top producers like Ben Feldman, John Savage, many others were part of the MDRT. And people really looked well at it as members in the profession of selling insurance. If you had an MDRT membership status, it meant that you were a productive agent on some level. However, fast forward to today, you really don't hear much about the MDRT at all. Sure, you read about it if you read the old books, and some of the agents who've been around a couple of decades will know or talk about it. But more and more as time moves on, I just don't hear much, if anything at all, from the $1 Million Roundtable. So what I wanted to do is really confirm my suspicions. Is MDRT even relevant anymore amongst insurance agents? Which is why I put together this survey. So without further ado, now you know a little bit about what the MDRT is. Let's kind of take a look at some questions that I posed my survey participants so that you can get a better idea if MDRT is something that's relevant, something that you should even pursue, and what the benefits are and what agents think about it. So some initial details on the breakdown of the survey. We conducted it between June 19th, 2020 and June 28th, 2020. Again, we had a total of 99 insurance agents licensed complete the survey. And to give you a breakdown of the primary insurance lines of the participants, 42.4% sold final expense as their primary product, 23.2% sold Medicare as their primary product, 7.1% sold mortgage protection as their primary product, annuities 12.1% as their primary product, and approximately 15.2% sold some other kind of insurance product. So the one thing I wanted to ask right off the bat, since I really just never hear from the MDRT at all anymore, is to gauge the relevance or the awareness that MDRT has in the insurance agent community. So I posed the simple question, have you ever heard of the $1 Million Roundtable before? And as you can see, the vast majority of agents who completed the survey had heard of the MDRT, with approximately 4 out of 5 agents hearing about the MDRT in some form or fashion. Also, I asked another question to the audience and asked how many of them ever had been a member of the MDRT. And it was almost an inverse of the last question. Approximately 4 out of 5 agents have not been a member ever of the $1 Million Roundtable, with approximately 18.2% having at one point or currently being a member of the $1 Million Roundtable. Another question I asked my audience, if you've never held an MDRT membership, is it your goal to eventually qualify? So I wanted to ask my audience how important, in a sense, was it to seek membership in the MDRT? And only 40% of those who answered the survey said it was important for them to eventually qualify, with 6 out of 10 or 60% saying no. So the next thing I wanted to ask was some sort of question that would have gauged the level of impact being a member of the MDRT had as a member. So I posed the question, as you'll see in just a second, to figure out how much the MDRT actually affects agents if one does finally decide to go in and join. So let's take a look at what those numbers look like. The question is, if you have been or are a current MDRT member, how much of an impact has the organization had on your insurance career? 1 being no impact, 5 being maximum impact. As you can see in the bar chart here, somewhere about right at 50%, said little to no impact positively whatsoever, with half of them gearing somewhat of a positive impact to an extremely high level of positive impact. Another question I wanted to ask was, prior to this survey, if you were aware of the MDRT but never joined, I wanted to know why the person was not inclined to be a member. And basically, if you look at the chart here, there's a bunch of different reasons why, but the two that stick out most obviously is the first one, with about 1 out of 3 saying it's just not simply relevant to the insurance products that I sell. And then the second one being, I just haven't been able to accomplish the goal yet. So I thought this was pretty interesting. There's a lot of people in the short survey that I completed that were very aware on some level of the $1 Million Roundtable, but very, very few that actually were members of it. So I wanted to see, for those who did join, what the perceived advantages were as being an MDRT member on some level. So what I'm going to show you is just a list of the comments that I received asking those who were a member at some point to describe the benefits of membership. So what we see here is kind of a mix of good, bad, and ugly. So for example, this first one was, just spend more money to go to another convention to hear the same thing we read, hear, and share already. Really, it is like Gamma, another MDRT style organization, a format for the successful agents, anyone that has come up with a marketing system, book, etc., to sell their products. They continue to try to sell something to you. One agent here said, being a part of the MDRT was all about status, the perception of how your clients and your fellow agents perceived of you, but also added, it's just simply not important today. Interesting, would be interested to hear why in further detail. Decent library of practice management articles and interviews, practical sales presentation concepts, a little bit of motivational stuff. The programs are good, but it is an advanced sales organization. I think the reference there is more to do with the fact that it's not geared towards the final expense or the simple transactional sale. I was a 5-time member and quit as I got tired of the snots and ego agents. I also quit the association and costs. Many guys that make it have special situations others can't ever get. A couple other points here. Your vision is broadened. I learned a lot about additional resources, met some great people, cloud among your peers. Throughout the process of looking for top producers here in Portugal, MDRT connected me with the top tier life insurance producer and only lifetime MDRT member in Portugal. We became friends and he's helping me as a mentor to do better. Best decision I ever made. So I asked one more question about any additional thoughts that people had that were a part of MDRT or not. Again, the whole purpose of this survey was really to get a feel for what the agent public really thought about the $1 Million Roundtable and its applicability to modern day insurance sales. So let's take a quick look at a few more, and then I'm going to kind of leave with some closing thoughts and maybe a challenge or two to the MDRT people on what they could do differently going forward to help everybody. So one comment said, agents put MDRT on cards, but if it doesn't help you sell, I question its importance. I've been a licensed agent since 2011. It's only been the last couple of years that I've seriously considered qualifying for MDRT membership. Membership costs a lot of money and the benefits are questionable in my mind. Also, I do a lot of replacement, and replacement business has not been generally counted for qualifying for an MDRT. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what his claim is. I've watched some of the presentations from the MDRT conference, and just like a lot of things, you can learn and get a takeaway here and there. A good perceptive comment, the life insurance industry seems to be less organized than ever before. The Life Underwriters Organization was once a staple, but I never hear about or from them. Our virtual world has left us less connected as an industry than ever before. MDRT was big with career companies still, maybe, but for the independent agent, it doesn't have the status it once did. It needs to update its image and put forth some effort. MDRT does next to nothing to make the brand attractive to younger business people. If you go to the website and click Practice Management, the most recent informative video is from 2017, and this is a video of someone giving a presentation. I don't think they even produce their own content. They don't give people much of a reason to join, in my opinion. A part of a comment that someone made. Lastly, there are plenty of MDRT agents who do not look at Medicare final expenses, quote-unquote real insurance, sales, and look down on us. They think life and annuity are the only quality agents, those that sell the white-collar market, business market, and that the senior market is for hucksters and high-net-worth market failures. If one has been to an MDRT conference, the material is fantastic. The attitude of the members toward a senior market agent is not. Last comment here, the nature of the MDRT seems to have changed. I follow their speakers and content, And there are very few who share the real stuff. The speakers today seem to speak for the privilege of speaking, and it's very formal. Long gone are the days of John Savage and Ben Feldman to just do sessions and answer questions. I still want to join, and I will this year, but I also know that it's just not the same. Maybe it's because U.S. members aren't the majority of members in the MDRT anymore, so we need sanitized presentation. So that's what you guys think about the $1 Million Roundtable. What do you think? I invite your comments below if you'd like to add anything to the conversation. And the one thing I'll say in wrapping up this video is that I think it's really disappointing on some level with the historical nature and background of the $1 Million Roundtable that they just aren't as involved and driven on the content side as they once were. As I've said in other videos, and if you look behind me, especially I think we're right on that side all up there, I've got a bunch of classic insurance agent books from a lot of MDRT lifetime members that were considered to be legends in the insurance sales business. And all of them spoke extremely highly of the advantages of joining MDRT. Problem is that the market has changed. The MDRT just doesn't seem to have really any relevance, especially like one of the commenters said, to the senior market side of the persuasion. Now, why do I think this is a big deal? Well, I think on some level, there's so little training content out there, with the exception of a few YouTube channels like myself, Cody Askins, Doug Massey, lots of other channels that are rising up in the insurance sales space. And so many agents desperately need help because what they're given as far as training goes ain't so much training. It's a lot of rah-rah, Kool-Aid drinking, walk-on coals nonsense. But the thing is that MDRT, I think, could play a more critical role in the development of more agents nationally here in the States and certainly internationally. And I think it's a shame that you don't see the level of commitment on the content creation side or the dedication towards helping all agents help more people. To me, the MDRT is a shell of itself, and I say that not with any malice or ill will, but as just an earnest critique, and would want better of them, because I think that there's so much power that they could have to help so many agents out there in bigger and better ways than they currently are, and you just don't see that. Go check out their YouTube channel, and you'll see for yourself what I mean. The amount of subscribers, the amount of content that's out there. You would think MDRT was kind of dying off or going away. And I know it's around in some capacity. I would just challenge the people out there that run MDRT to take their content production up to the next level. There's all sorts of agents that need your help. And unfortunately, these days, as really it always has been, the level of training and development of agents is just poor overall for most agents that come into this business, and they need as much as possible to succeed because our prospects need our help. They need talented, well-trained individuals that know how to explain complex topics in a simplified form and help them with whatever insurance problems they have that can be solved with insurance. So MDRT, don't take this the wrong way. This is from a standpoint of love and concern. I think you guys could do a lot better. You could do a lot more. And I would advise or recommend that you look to see what's out there, what you can do, and challenge yourself to take a rung up. Be what you used to be, the literal gold standard in the insurance sales world. So, but hey, this is a comment from some dude in his spare bedroom, right? Take it for what it's worth. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it. I hope to see better things from the MDRT. Ultimately, that's where my heart is. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. I do recruit and train agents. Just a friendly reminder. You can check out davidduford.com for more information. I recruit and train agents nationally to sell things like final expense life insurance, Medicare products like Medicare Advantage, and as well annuities, both telesales and face-to-face. So go to davidduford.com, click Join Dave's Agency or become an agent to learn more. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you.